ওঠো, জাগো এবং লক্ষ্যে না পৌঁছানো পর্যন্ত থেমো না। মাননীয় বিচারক মণ্ডলী, শ্রদ্ধেয় শিক্ষকগণ এবং আমার প্রিয় বন্ধুরা, আপনাদের সকলকে জানাই আমার বিনম্র প্রণাম। আমি বর্ণালী সরকার রবীন্দ্র বাংলা বিদ্যালয়ের ষষ্ঠ শ্রেণীর ছাত্রী। আজ আমি আপনাদের সামনে কোনো রাজা, কোনো যোদ্ধা বা কোনো বিজ্ঞানের কথা বলতে এসেছি। আমি বলতে এসেছি এমন এক মানুষের কথা, যিনি কথা বলেছিলেন আত্মার শক্তি দিয়ে, যিনি ভারতকে চিনিয়েছিলেন বিশ্বের দরবারে, যিনি আমাদেরকে শিখিয়েছিলেন দুর্বল হওয়া পাপ আর আত্মবিশ্বাসী জীবনের সবচেয়ে বড় শক্তি। হ্যাঁ বন্ধুরা, আমি কথা বলছি স্বামী বিবেকানন্দের, যার আসল নাম ছিল নরেন্দ্রনাথ দত্ত। তিনি জন্মগ্রহণ করেন 1863 খ্রিস্টাব্দে কলকাতার এক সাধারণ পরিবারে। তিনি ছোটবেলা থেকেই ছিলেন প্রশ্নকারী, যুক্তিবাদী এবং নির্ভীক। তিনি অন্ধবিশ্বাসে বিশ্বাস করতেন না, তিনি চাইতেন সত্যের প্রমাণ। এই সত্যের সন্ধানে তার জীবনে এলেন তার গুরু শ্রী রামকৃষ্ণ পরমহংসদেব। এই সাক্ষাৎ বদলে দেন নরেন্দ্রনাথের পুরো জীবন। তারপর তিনি হয়ে ওঠেন স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ। তিনি 1893 খ্রিস্টাব্দে আমেরিকার শিকাগো শহরে ধর্ম মহাসভায় উপস্থিত হন। সেখানে বিশ্বের বড় বড় পণ্ডিত ধর্মগুরু উপস্থিত ছিলেন। একজন অচেনা সন্ন্যাসী গেরুয়া বসনে মঞ্চে উঠে বললেন, সিস্টার্স অ্যান্ড ব্রাদার্স অফ আমেরিকা। এই কয়েকটি শব্দে পুরো সভা দাঁড়িয়ে পড়েছিল করতালিতে। কারণ তিনি শুধু কথা বলেননি, তিনি অনুভব করিয়েছিলেন ভালোবাসা ও মানবতার শক্তি। সেই স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ প্রমাণ করেছিলেন ভারত কোনো দরিদ্র দেশ নয়, ভারত হল আধ্যাত্মিক শক্তির ভাণ্ডার। স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ আমাদেরকে বলেছিলেন ধর্ম মানে শুধু মন্দির বা উপাসনা নয়, ধর্ম মানে ক্ষুধার লোকে খাবার দেওয়া, দুঃখীকে সাহায্য করা এবং মানুষকে ভালোবাসা। তাই তিনি বলেছিলেন জীব সেবা মানে শিব সেবা। বন্ধুরা, স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ বিশেষ করে যুবক সমাজের উপর বিশ্বাস রাখতেন। তিনি বলতেন, আমাকে 100 নিষ্ঠাবান যুবক দাও, আমি দেশকে বদলে দেব। এই বাক্যটি আমাদেরকে শেখায় হাল ছেড়ে না দেওয়া, ব্যর্থতাকে ভয় না পাওয়া, নিজের উপর বিশ্বাস রাখা। তিনি বিশ্বাস করতেন প্রত্যেক মানুষের ভিতরে অসীম শক্তি লুকিয়ে আছে, দরকার শুধু সেই শক্তিকে জাগিয়ে তোলা। বন্ধুরা, আজ আমরা এমন এক সময়ে বাস করছি যেখানে হতাশা, ভয় এবং আত্মবিশ্বাসের অভাব আমাদের ঘিরে রয়েছে। ঠিক সেই সময় স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ বলেন, নিজের উপর বিশ্বাস রাখো, তাতে সব শক্তি নিহিত। তিনি কখনো বিলাসিতা শেখাননি, তিনি শিখিয়েছিলেন শৃঙ্খলা, ত্যাগ আর চরিত্র গঠন। কারণ তিনি বিশ্বাস করতেন চরিত্রের জাতির মেরুদণ্ড। আজ যদি আমরা তার আদর্শকে অনুসরণ করি, আমরা হব মানবিক, আমরা হব আত্মবিশ্বাসী, আমরা হব প্রকৃত দেশপ্রেমী। স্বামী বিবেকানন্দ আজ আমাদের মাঝে নেই, কিন্তু তার আদর্শ আজও জীবিত। প্রশ্ন একটাই, আমরা কি সেই আদর্শকে জীবনে গ্রহণ করতে প্রস্তুত? আসুন আজ আমরা সকলে প্রতিজ্ঞা করি, আমরা দুর্বল হব না, আমরা হাল ছাড়ব না, আমরা মানবতার পথে চলব। তো আজ আমার বক্তব্য আমি এখানে শেষ করতে চাই তাহারই এক অমর বাণী দিয়ে, নিজের উপর বিশ্বাস রাখো, তাহলে তুমি পৃথিবীর যে কোনো কাজ করতে পারবে। ধন্যবাদ। জয় হিন্দ, জয় ভারত।
बर्नाली के बाद हैं बैच नंबर 13 बी लेखा, क्लास 10 में पढ़ती हैं, विवेकानंद केंद्र विद्यालय गंगालाई।
नेक्स्ट पढ़ती क्या अच्छे यूनिटी।
नेक्स्ट इसके बाद है एस शिवरांजलि। आप देखिए,
All power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Namaskar to one and all present over here. respected teachers, judges, and all my dear brothers and sisters. I'm Dean of class 10 from Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya, and today I'll be speaking about some inspiring events from Swamiji's life and the lessons we can draw from them. History has known kings with crowns, warriors with weapons, and scholars with books. And today, of course, we know influencers with red lights. But long before likes, followers, and viral content existed, history produced a monk with nothing except an unshakable belief in human strength. That monk was Swami Vivekananda. He did not conquer land, he conquered fear, doubt, and weakness. And that conquest still inspires the world. I'll be telling you about some inspiring events from his life, and we can also discuss about the lessons drawn from it. First, a mind that refused easy answers. Before he became Swami Vivekananda, he was Narendranath Dutt, a brilliant mind with an uncompromising habit of questioning. He went from saint to scholar, asking just one question: have you seen God? Not do you believe, not what do scriptures say. In short, Naren was not interested in forwarded messages about God. He wanted direct confirmation. Most people avoided this question until he met Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans, who replied calmly, "Yes, I've seen God as clearly as I see you." That answer did not end Naren's question. It transformed his life. Thus, truth never fears questions. Second, crisis that built character. After his father's sudden death, Naren's family was pushed into extreme poverty. Creditors knocked, relatives refused help, and food was scarce. In desperation, Naren went to the temple of goddess Kali to pray for money. But when he stood there, his lips refused to ask. Even in his first moment, his conscience had better network connectivity than his wallet. He returned empty-handed, yet stronger inside. Thus, when values survive desperation, character is born. Third, renunciation by choice, not an escape. Naren had talent, intelligence, and opportunities. A comfortable life was easily available. Yet, he chose discipline, he chose uncertainty, and he chose purpose. He renounced worldly life and became Swami Vivekananda, not because he was weak, but because he was strong enough to let go. Thus, comfort zones create comfort, not greatness, and great souls are rarely created in comfort zones. Fourth, the wandering monk who walked India. As a wandering monk, Swamiji traveled barefoot across India. No fixed address, no steady meals, and no comfort, which basically means he was spiritually rich, yet materially offline. Once, a poor farmer's family shared their last meal with him. That night, Swamiji cried. Not from hunger, but from realization. India's poorest were its most generous. Thus, compassion often lives where wealth does not. Fifth, the snake incident, mastery over fear. Once, during his travels, Swamiji saw monks panicking because a snake had entered their hut. Swamiji remained calm. He explained that fear gives danger confidence, while calmness weakens it. Thus, we need the courage to face our fears and go through our challenges correctly. Thus, fear is often more dangerous than the problem itself. Sixth, thrown out of a train, not out of dignity. Once, Swamiji was pushed out of a train because of his appearance. Alone at night, injured, humiliated, yet unshaken. He later reflected that dignity comes from within, not from approval. Thus, dignity comes from within, not from approval. Thus, self-respect is unstable. 7. Rejection before recognition. Before the World Parliament of Religions, Swamiji faced rejection after rejection. No invitation, no money, and no certainty. At one point, he survived only because strangers believed in him. Thus, history often tests you before it applauds you. 9th, Parliament of Religions. The Parliament of Religions, Chicago 1893. When Swamiji finally stood on the global stage, he started with just 2 words: sisters and brothers of America, the audience rose in a standing ovation. Not because he attacked other religions, not because he claimed superiority, but because he spoke of unity, tolerance, and universal brotherhood. Thus, the strongest voices unite, they do not divide. 9th, sharp humor, sharper wisdom. Swamiji's humor always carried the truth. Never silly, never pointless, but always intellectual. Once, someone complained about lack of concentration. He replied, "You cannot concentrate, yet you remember every insult perfectly." Clearly, memory was never the problem. Thus, awareness begins where excuses end. 10th, a short life, endless impact. Swami Vivekananda lived only for 39 years, which means he achieved more in 39 years than most of us plan to do after retirement. He gave India confidence, he gave youth courage, and he gave the world a message of harmony. Thus, life is not measured by years, it is measured by impact. Swami Vivekananda did not want followers, he wanted fearless thinkers. He taught us to question without fear, to serve without ego, to suffer without bitterness, and to believe deeply in ourselves. His message still echoes: arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. So arise from doubt, awake from fear, and stop not until your life itself becomes an inspiring event. Because Swamiji believed in one thing above all: you are not weak, you have just forgotten your strength. Thank you.
इसके बाद आ रहे हैं बैच नंबर 14 बैच शिवरंजन, क्लास 11 में पढ़ती हैं, खालसा पब्लिक सीनियर सेकेंडरी स्कूल। बैच नंबर 14।
Where brave serve without pride, where brave serve without pride, truth and power walk inside. Where brave serve without pride, truth and power walk inside. Strong in will, pure in aim. Strong in will, pure in aim. Life itself will know your name. Think like a thunder, act like a flame. Think like a thunder, act like a flame. This is Swami Vivekananda's name. This is Swami Vivekananda's name. Namaskar, Sat Shri Akal, and a very fine evening to one and all present here. Respected judges, teachers, and all my dear friends. It is Shivaranjani representing Khalsa Public Senior Secondary School standing before you to speak and share my message on the topic inspiring the events from Swami Vivekananda Ji's life. Arise, awake, and not stop till your goal is reached. These powerful quotes are not just words, they are the call to action said by Swami Vivekananda Ji, a monk whose life itself is a message of faith, belief, confidence, dignity, and discipline. The life that speaks more louder than words, yes, it is Swami Vivekananda Ji's life. When history remembers Swami Ji's life, it does not remember him as a sage or a philosopher. It remembers him as a torchbearer of confidence, torchbearer of courage, torchbearer of dignity, and torchbearer of idealism. He himself believed in the power of education and power of youth. His life was not free from struggles, but his life was full of purpose. There are some of the events which has been shaped his legacy. Event 1, the Chicago speech, Power of One Voice. In 1893, when at the World Parliament of Chicago, Swami Vivekananda Ji stood up before the global audience and he said just 2 words: sisters and brothers of America. These words earned him a standing ovation. Why? Well, these words earned him a standing ovation because these words are an emotion. These words are a purity which came from the heart of Swami Vivekananda Ji. This moment, these words teach us that true strength lies behind humanity and brotherhood. He once said, truth can be stated in different ways, but the main thing is, each of one must be true. The second event is struggle faced by Swamiji as a monk and the strength behind the hardships. Swamiji walked barefoot across all over India. He faced rejection, he faced hungriness, he faced loneliness, but never he complained. Instead of that, He wanted to solve the problems of people. He wanted to serve for the people. He observed the painful things and he wanted to resolve it. He said one thing, in a conflict between your heart and the brain, you must follow your heart. This phase of his life inspired us to understand that greatness is born from sacrifice and success is attained by that person who persists despite true hardships. Even 3, which is faith in oneself, or we can say that the core message. Swamiji's important thing which he believed is self-belief and self-confidence. When India was struggling under the colonial rule, he said one thing. If you want to believe in God, believe in yourself first. This phase turned millions of people into with self-confidence and self-belief and fight against the injustice. He also made people to remember that every soul, every people is a divine and it has a divine power. The 4th event is meeting Sri Ramakrishna. Today we are inspiring Swami Vivekananda ji, but Swami Vivekananda ji has been inspired by a mystic man named Sri Ramakrishna. He made Swami Vivekananda a profoundly shaped, lumiноusly and inspired man. He taught the spiritual realization and social growth. This event understand that every education, every movement, everything goes in hand by hand. From Sri Ramakrishna to Swami Vivekananda, today we are inspiring Swami Vivekananda ji and now we are studying what is spiritual growth and what is social growth. The 5th event is found of Ramakrishna Mission. Yes, after meeting Sri Ramakrishna and accepting Ramakrishna as a spiritual guru, Swami Vivekananda ji founded Ramakrishna Mission or Ramakrishna Method, which focused on this spreading upon the humanitarian work and spiritual growth under the students and under the peoples. This all events make us understand that Swami Vivekananda ji had left a dignity, courageous and confident life. Here is a story which is related to Swami Vivekananda ji. Once a boy ran fastly but sad. He approached Swami Vivekananda and asked, "Sir, I read a lot, but I cannot concentrate and I cannot encourage." Swamiji asked him, "Can you tell me your favorite book's name?" The boy replied, "Yes." And Swamiji asked him to recite a few lines from that book. The boy recited it flawlessly. Swamiji didn't find any flaws. Further, Swamiji smiled and said to him, "See, the knowledge is within you. Where are you finding out? Education is not something which is stuffed inside your brain. Education is something which helps you to find your power inside hidden." He said in famous words, "Education is a manifestation of the perfection which is already in man." From that day onwards, that boy understand that education is not a fear or a pressure. It is all about self-belief and understanding. And he focused and he succeeded. Fear is a sin. Fear is a shell. Fear is a death. But fearlessness is a life, growth and freedom. Swamiji's life teaches. He not only inspired his generation, but he continues to inspire our generation and coming on too. Let's not just admire him. Let's be the change and be the one he believed. Remembering his message is easy, but living his message is a real tribe which we gonna need today. He once said, "Take risk in your life. If you win, you can win. If you lose, you can die." So remember it. Today, I feel honored to speak about Swami Vivekananda ji, and I want to be the change he believed in, and I want to follow the message, and I want to be the real tribute to him. So with this message, I would like to wind up my speech with a small quote. "Arise, awake, the lion roared. Arise, awake, the lion roared, the fearless monk the world adored. With burning faith and vision wide, with burning faith and vision wide, he taught us the people the strength we hold inside. From India's soul, his message came. From India's soul, his message came to the lightning of words with wisdom's flame. Leave his truth, let fear depart. Leave his truth, let fear depart. Swami Vivekananda ji in everyone's heart. Swami Vivekananda ji in everyone's heart, everyone's heart. Thank you, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
अब हमारे आखिरी कंटेस्टेंट हैं कि उमेश आदित्य बैच नंबर 27। 10 में पढ़ते हैं RGT पब्लिक विद्यालय।
Hello. Good morning, respected chief guests, teachers, and my fellow survivors of daily chaos. I'm Umesh of class 10, and today I'm not here to speak. I'm here to share the wondrous experiences from Swami Vivekananda's life. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as it's a journey you will not want to miss. To start off our adventure journey, let's go back to the time when Swami Vivekananda was visiting settlement near Varanasi. One day, when he was returning from a Durga temple, his pathway was blockaded by a gang of monkeys. He tried walking away, but he had no luck. He walked a few steps, he looked back, and the monkeys were still there. Now, in such situation, any smart person would just run. And run is just what Swami Vivekananda did. He ran and ran with no luck whatsoever. He ran away, turned back, and the monkeys were still there. While he was finishing up his morning cardio, a monk's voice echoed from his surroundings, and it said, "Do not run from your fears, face them instead." And that's what he did. He stood firm on his feet. He turned back, looked down into the eyes of the monkeys, and they ran away with fear. And at that moment, he understood running from your problems will just make them bigger. Turn back and look into their eyes, and they will run away with fear. Now, to continue this smooth-flowing momentum, I have just another story for you. One fine day, when Swami Vivekananda was in his house with his pet dog, a man suddenly burst through the door and fell to his feet. He said, "Oh God, please help me in my life." Swami Vivekananda lifted him and he asked what the problem was. To which the man replied, saying that he had tried every trick under the sun, but all those tricks failed to earn him some money and a life. Swami Vivekananda correctly understood the problem, and he asked for a strange request. He asked the man to take his dog for a walk. At the beginning, anyone would be confused, and the man was confused as well. But later, he agreed to Swami's condition. He decided to take the dog to a nearby park, and by the time he returned, it was already noon. In the route to the park, the man kept walking straight towards the park. The man kept walking forward, but the dog that he took with him always wandered here and there and fought with every street dog that he saw. Every time he fought a street dog or finished his job, he came back to the man and joined him with his journey. And after noon fell, the man returned to Swami Vivekananda, and he said, to which Swami Vivekananda was actually surprised to see the man. On the left hand, the dog that he took with him was filled with sweat. And on the other hand, the man was literally without no sweat. With no sweat. And then what happened was, Swami Vivekananda asked the man what he learned and what he actually did. What actually happened? Why was the dog so tired? To which the man replied, saying that he always walked forward towards the path. But the dog always kept wandering here and there to fight with the street dogs. Then Swami Vivekananda smiled and he looked at him, saying that you have just answered your own question. The man was shocked at first and later he realized if we walk straight towards the path, we will not lose focus. But if we lose focus of your goals and want to get in there, you will not be able to earn anything in your life. Thank you for sticking with me till the end of this journey. I hope you like the stories that I brought with me, and I truly appreciate your presence. Thank you for all.
एलोक्यूशन खत्म हुआ। एक हमारी स्पीच में दो हमारे प्रतिभागी हैं, उनको मैं फिर बुलाना चाहूँगी। बैच नंबर 1 खुशबू कुमारी स्पीच हो जाएगी।
Atmanan Mansa Jayati Iti Shiksha, which means education is that which conquers the self through the mind. My name is Khushbu Kumari of class 11 from Kamraj English Medium School, and today on this auspicious occasion of the birth anniversary of one of the greatest youth icons, Shri Swami Vivekananda Ji, I am honored to present my speech on his message on character building education. Swami Vivekananda's thought always continues to inspire generations, especially the youth, to build strength of character, confidence and moral values. I now take this opportunity to express few his views to all of you. Swami Vivekananda, one of the first Indian thinker to give a psychological and spiritual orientation to nation building. He believed that education is not just a degree on a piece of paper. He famously said that education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain undigested all your life. Instead, he advocated for a man-making, character-building education, which involves harmonious development of self, our soul, our body, our mind. He stressed on spiritual education, by which he meant education that can build a good character. Now, what did Swamiji mean by good character? He believed that a person's character is shaped by his habits, his thoughts, his actions. Since it is not a one-time achievement, it is a self-improvement, slowly, gradually continuous process. He said very encouragingly that even great occasions come, rose even the lowest of the human being to some kind of greatness. But he himself was really a great person whose character was always seen wherever he be. And this stability of his character comes from spiritual education. The education which built from perfect sincerity, holiness and an all will of conquering. He believed that if a handful of people will go with these values, can revolutionize the whole world. Swamiji gives us a different metric for success. He said, we want that education. We want that education by which our character is formed, our strength is increased, our intellect is expanded, and through which one can stand in his own feet. Since money, fame, name, and mere learning doesn't pay for a long time, but our love, character pays for a long time. According to him, in his views, character building and education must go hand in hand. According to him, true education is that which makes the individual more self-sufficient, compassionate, capable of not just overcoming personal hurdles, but uplifting the society as a whole. At the end, I would like to conclude that in this fast-paced
Swami Vivekananda says that if we assimilate just 5 ideas in our life and our character, we would be more educated than a person who has by-hearted a whole library. So let us build a good character to build a good future, good nation tomorrow. Not facts that ride within the head. Not facts that ride within the head, but a live man-making value set. When noble ideas comes in the bread, when noble ideas comes in the bread, character conquers even the dead. The true education Swami Vivekananda taught, the true education Swami Vivekananda taught is the strength of character in every thought, is the strength of character in every thought. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Bharati, धन्यवाद.
अब अभी प्रतिभागी हैं बैच नंबर 11 वर्षा विश्वास क्लास 11 में पढ़ती हैं कामराज इंग्लिश मीडियम स्कूल.
The highest education is not just which merely give you information, but which makes your life in harmony with all existence. Namaskar, good afternoon to all and all present here, respected judges, teachers and all my dear friends. I am Varsha Biswas of class 11, representing Kamaraj English Medium School in the warm day celebrating National Youth Day. Information fill your mind with fact. Education teaches us how to create a strong personality. Information tells us how to think. Education teaches us how to think and who to become. Swami Vivekananda believed that education is not just with books, marks or certificate. It is character building, strengthening your mind and empowering the power which is already hidden in yourself. He believed that it is not a process, it is a whole life. It not end in the classroom, it continues with your action and thinking. So through my speech, I will share that how Swami Vivekananda's vision that through education one can develop strong character. How? A person can transform himself into a noble and responsible citizen through education. Education not only teaches us how to be successful, but it teaches you through how to be a man of worthy. Swami Vivekananda reminds us that education and information is different. Information fills your mind with facts, but education creates your personality. Information and education is different. How? A man who may know many facts, but without values of honesty, courage and compassion, it is incomplete. According to him, the meaning of education is the man-making. Create a man with self-reliant honesty and courage. This is the timeless message given by Swami Vivekananda. Not just be informed mind, but educated souls. Swami Vivekananda said that education is not merely to pass the examination. It is to strengthen the inner soul. He gave 3 powerful ways through which one can develop a stronger character. Self-confidence, concentration, purity and selflessness. First, education must develop self-confidence in oneself. He believed that a child carries immense potential in himself. When he knows his ability and come out from fear, he can do and become whatever he wants. Second, concentration. Education must develop concentration. A focused mind is a powerful mind. Through practice and education, one must know how to control his skill and will. Third, purity and selflessness. Purity in your word and action makes you a noble person, and selflessness teaches you how to be not just think about yourself but for everyone. And Swami Vivekananda's message of education is clear. Education is not about collecting information, it is making your inner strength and inner soul strong. At the last, I want to say that Swamiji said that education is not just a degree or job or success. It is
man making. A true educated person is who stand in courage with difficulties, who think clearly even in confusion. I want to conclude my speech with a quotation: Vidya Vinyan Bhavati. Vidya Vinyan Bhavati. That means knowledge shines through humanity. Thank you.
थैंक यू वर्षा। हमारा ये कार्यक्रम यहाँ समाप्त होता है और सभी धैर्यपूर्वक बैठे रहे और इतने अच्छे ढंग से हर प्रतिभागी ने अपनी बात को हमारे सामने रखा बड़ी स्पष्टता के साथ और हर किसी का आत्मविश्वास देखते ही बनता था। स्वामी जी ने सबको इंस्पायर कर दिया है, समझ में आ गया। और इस अपने अंदर ये जो अग्नि जल रही है इसे हमेशा जलाए रखें और हम लोग उम्मीद करेंगे कि अगले वर्ष आप लोग फिर आएंगे, फिर नए जोश नए उमंग के साथ नए विचारों के साथ। हम सबका यहाँ धन्यवाद करती हूँ और आप लोग आपका भविष्य उज्जवल हो। स्वामी जी को अपने जीवन में अपनाइए और उनके मार्गदर्शन में आगे बढ़िए, यही कामना है। धन्यवाद।
Visto agora.